Today I fucked up by buying Super Plus tampons while seemingly being covered in blood. Not as gross as it sounds. I'm a teacher and was leading my last class of the day through an art activity on Zoom about an hour ago. That's when the red Sharpie I was using exploded and got all over my hands and shirt. Life of a teacher. Didn't think twice about it. Fast forward to half an hour ago. I went to the pharmacy to buy tampons when I realized the guy at the cash looking absolutely grossed out. I had completely forgotten about the Sharpie explosion, and looked at my hands and t-shirt, which told a very different story paired with the extra large tampons. It looked like I had a major period explosion and then rushed to the pharmacy without cleaning up. Yes, I washed my hands in between, but Sharpie doesn't come off easily. To make matters even more cringe, I quickly said, "Oh, don't worry, that's just marker on my hands." This clearly made it seem like it was not just marker. He looked even more sketched out and silently wrung me out before promptly sanitizing after. Oops. TL, doctor, red Sharpie exploded on my hands and shirt. Guy at the store thought I was covered in period blood when I went to buy tampons. At least you got a good story out the whole thing, smiley cat face. I feel your embarrassment. Hello teacher here. Husband thought I was covered in bruises. Nope, Mr. Sketch. Wanna smell? For those who don't know, Mr. Sketch is a popular brand of scented washable markers, and a personal favorite of mine. Hand sanitizer removes Sharpie. Can I have a price check on the extra absorbent tampons? I repeat. Sharpies do bleed and apparently, so do you. Today I fucked up saved my son. Okay, this is not a today I fucked up, but given rules for titles had to include writing to thank a redditor that had posted in this sub about not ignoring testicular pain because of the serious and negative results. After reading it, I spoke to my son to tell him if he ever has pain in the area to let us know to avoid serious consequences like the op had faced. At 12, almost 13, boys definitely don't want to talk to their mom about their junk. Or they'll think it's no big deal, normal, whatever. Well, my son listened. He told us the day after the pain started, because it had started around bedtime. My husband said sometimes it can be painful if you pull something, twist wrong, whatever. But that at the absolute longest would be a day, maybe 2. But if it hits 3 days, we'd take him in, or sooner, if pain became severe. Today was day 3. Took him in. He's apparently very swollen. They sent him for a stat ultrasound. Within an hour of ultrasound, we were referred to a urologist and he was prescribed antibiotics in case it's an infection so they can rule that out, just in case. So, he's still hurting. And I'm a bit scared. Have never gotten such quick tests, results/referrals in my life, so I'm worried it could be something serious. The appointment with the urologist is in 2 weeks. But because of a post I saw on here, I was able to have a conversation with my son about something that I knew nothing about prior to reading the post. I learned testicular pain can be a sign of something serious. I was able to share that info with my son, so he came to me, rather than stay quiet. Whatever the issue turns out to be, hopefully we caught it early enough to treat it and avoid any long-term effects. So thank you. TLDR, a redditors who may have saved my son from a lot of pain. I actually just called my son in to tell him if he ever had pain to let me know and that he could speak to the doctor privately about it. Thanks! Exclamation mark. Regular self-checks are always good. Knowing your own body and getting to know what feels normal is good for when abnormalities arise. I had a couple of scares when I was younger and thankfully they were just a swollen epididymis, sperm duct opening where tubes begin. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Thank you. I'll pass the message on about doing regular self-exams. See, the whole testicle thing is kind of unknown and mysterious to me because I don't have them, lol. I'm glad to hear that the issues you experienced weren't serious, life-altering. And happy to know that you felt confident enough to tell your parents, and they listened to you to take you in. From what my husband and a male friend have said, it could be possibly related to the changes of puberty. Apparently you guys have a lot more that happens during that time than most women are aware of, because it's not visible like when we get breasts. and sometimes, things get stuck or twisted along the way with those changes. But we'll definitely suggest regular self-exams to him. This sub has already helped him a ton because I was able to teach him what I had learned from it. So my guess is that he'll probably, hopefully, listen again. I'll also bring it up at the urologist appointment, so they can tell him how to perform a self-check and let him know what he should be looking for. Thank you again, have a great night. Another medical advice is regarding erectile dysfunction. It has a very high linkage to heart attacks, around 80%. So if you can't get your body up, go to a doctor. So glad that this sub helped you. Hope your son is alright, and I applaud you for working to understand the topic and talk about it with him. Thank you. He's still in pain, but at least it's being addressed. He said it felt like something disconnected, like something was attached and now it's not. With him going through puberty, I don't know what's normal and what's not. The op that made the post I'm referring to had some really serious consequences. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I think it resulted in loss of fertility or possibly the loss of a testicle because they kept ignoring the pain until it was unmanageable, but by that point, the damage was too severe to fix. I'm just very thankful my son listened. We're a pretty open, honest family. Talk about sex, drugs and rock and roll openly and honestly so that hopefully they feel comfortable enough to talk to us so we can help them to make safe decisions. But we've never talked about pain in the genital region and how serious it can be. Until I read the original Today I Fucked Up. Honestly, it was an area I was clueless in for the male experience. But the op's experience was serious/scary enough, and could have been avoided or fixed with earlier intervention, that I spoke with him about it. A lot of times, I think most of us read it for the humor aspect, either that or I'm just twisted for laughing at some of them, I guess. But on the flip side, it is kind of educational, because we can hopefully learn from their mistakes. Thank you again for the well wishes, have a good night. Check your dingleberries monthly boys. The physical ball should feel smooth and the bit at the back should feel like scrambled egg. Thank you. I'll pass that message on to him. He said feels like something was connected, but now it's not. So I think that's more of an internal thing in this instance. But just learned about the importance of self-exams from another commenter tonight. When he goes into the urologist, I'll have him go over how to do the self-exam and what he should be looking for or feeling for. As mentioned, since I'm working with different equipment, I don't have the experience with the medical or self-care part of the male anatomy. My use and experience of male anatomy is pretty narrow, and pretty focused to specific uses. Outside of that, I'm pretty lost. Thank you for posting your response and description. Someone else's FU helped my son. My post has led to another parent talking to their son. I'm fairly confident your reminder and description has probably led to a few people doing a quick self-exam. I appreciate you. Thanks again and have a good night. Today I fucked up by accidentally getting my parents high. Too long didn't read. I made a salad today with what I thought was olive oil, and ended making my parents trip for a good part of the afternoon and evening. Turns out it was some locally sourced hemp oil. Some background, we normally make a fresh cut salad for lunch and use some mustard or olive oil to mix spices just prior. I was in charge of making it today and I wanted some olive oil, and my mom gave me a clear bottle saying that I could use this as a substitute as she didn't have any. I normally tend to make it a bit more spice heavy, so I tried cutting it by adding more oil. It ended up being a bit oily at the end, but tasted good enough for consumption. We ate it, and went back to doing our own shit. I wanted to work a bit on the PC, but I couldn't sit and concentrate. Reading something long made me forget the first bit, and my head was spinning in a sense. I could close my eyes and visualize random shit like a lucid dream, but was kinda pulled down in a way, so I slept for a bit. At the same time my dad's been feeling fuzzy as well, unable to do his work, and my mom had crashed face down on the bed. A while later, I checked with mom on what it could be, because everything we ate was made at home. She mentioned it could be the high from the hemp seed oil that I put in the salad. I was laughing inside at that time. My dad's also not sure what's up. It's not normal hemp oil, it's a trial bottle she got from some local organic store. I seriously doubt they checked the THC levels before giving it. Smile. Either way, nothing bad happened. understand, but for a family where drugs and alcohol are strict no-no, it was funny to see them tripping and confused. I don't think we'll be using it anytime soon, haha. It possibly mistaken on whether it was an actual high, as some of the comments have pointed out. Could be due to tiredness from CBD consumption. Edit 2, helpful award lol. Don't try this, people. Should have drank some oodles with it, then you'd really be buzzed. Don't mean to be rude, I came from a drug-free household as well, but your family and yourself did not necessarily get high, you simply felt the calming and sometimes tiring effects of CBD and certainly did not trip. Hemp seed oil is primarily used as a facial product, though it can be used in cooking. Most likely it had a bit of CBD, though likely extremely little. Just so you know, CBD doesn't get you high, but it is great for pain relief and anti-anxiety. THC is the psychoactive ingredient of marijuana, which can be in hemp seed oil, full spectrum, but not enough to affect you. Hemp seed oil doesn't get you high too. To be honest, that was the only best guess I had. I had controlled the other ingredients and none of them have a chance of this effect. Don't know what else it could be. Maybe the oil had something else in it. It wasn't really a high, more of a drowsy, peaceful feeling. What a time to be alive. That sounds like a happy little accident. Bob Ross _